Peps and Jdog, we're finished. Season's over. Thank you for the season, and we'll see you back in 2025. It's great to have you on board for the final review of the regular season. And now we're heading into the pre-finals bye that everybody loves, especially my co-host with the most, the amazing Jamie the Jdog Wallace. Lots to get through. Very, very quiet week off the field as well too. So if you've got some questions for us, live on the Facebook, live on the YouTube, live, just listening to us anywhere. Throw it through to us, Peps and Jdog, bringing your lace out because how you want your footy. Big Dog, congratulations, everybody. 40, turned 40 on over the weekend. The great Jamie Wallace, everybody. Yes, give him a round of applause. He finally is caught up to his hairline. That's 0. Happy birthday, young man.
Thank you very much, Peps. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm now in the 4 decades. So
the 5th decade because you've got the 0 to 9, 10 to 19. Yeah, exactly right. I was having this argument with my son my nephew yesterday about Essendon and saying how they have not won a final this century. And he goes, we won 2000. So, mate, you've won a grand final. I guess because, centuries end on the zeros, but couldn't work it out. That's all right. Hey, look at this. It's already started. Roo boy. Simple as this, Jamie. North Melbourne supporters, many supporters. It's just simply 5 words. Thank fuck footy is over. Can't put it any cleaner than that. Jazz boy, always wrapped to have you on board.
NFL is only 6 weeks away.
NFL? Yeah.
NFL.
Oh, yep. Baseball's the silly season is happening up in October. Madness.
What are you going to do, Peps? Because, my team continues on for a few more weeks of footy, and I've got stuff to watch. Like, what do your weekends look like now? Is it a bit of Pablo Escobar, just sitting in the backyard on your swing by yourself while your friends are hell having fun?
Look, see, one thing you've got to realize.
While your club is melting down, while your club is burning, falling to the ground, your best midfielder wants to leave. Your club hates him. He hates them.
I'll be honest, Jdog.
You've got Oliver who can't get it right. He's probably just thinking about the nose beers all weekend. This is the greatest time to ever be a non-Melbourne supporter.
Well, you got to realise for quite a number of years, this was our premiership window, and I'm not talking about September action. I'm talking about trade week. That was what we looked forward to. That was when we really excelled, and unfortunately, we got our stuff right on the football field and didn't have to worry about it. Now we're going to have to start getting back onto it. But hey, I want
Jack Viney screwing you guys for an extra couple of $100,000 a season for a few more years.
Can I when there's that your bane of your existence, there's just that one person. You've known them for close to 45 years, and they just pop out of nowhere once in a while. And when they talk, you just want to grind your teeth and slap them.
Yes.
I don't think Lee Mack's been on all year, and now he knows. I was right, Pepper. Well, thanks. And the worst thing is he's a Hawthorn supporter, and so I've got to deal with him talking about how good the Hawks are as well. Good. But they are very good too, so I'm going to give him credit. But he's an absolute superstar, that Lee Mack. I tell you what, his hairline's almost as actually it's worse than yours. But as a bloke, A1 front of the plane. Hey, Jdog, question for you.
Yes.
The last round of footy, outside of Sunday, which I want to have a chat about, it was pretty average, wasn't it?
It probably goes down as probably the worst week of football I've seen in almost my whole life.
Do we
Friday night? I'll give my justification, Peps, if I can.
Go through all the games, mate. Let's go through all the games. Then we'll go through the ladder. Then we'll have a bit of a chat about the overall season before we get into next week.
Well, okay. So Friday night, I have no issue with it. Like, dead rubbers are going to happen in AFL. We know this. The quality of Friday night, it actually wouldn't have hurt anyone to maybe go to bed 9 minutes early and just pack it in for the night. The quality of football between Collingwood and Melbourne was borderline not VFL, VAFA level. It was VAFA level.
You watched a VAFA game recently?
I have watched a VAFA game.
No, insult to the VAFA.
Well, I don't mean it. I don't mean it in terms of like
Almost East
there are levels,
That's how bad
and it was
was.
VAFA level.
Yep. It was East Keeler level. That's how bad it was.
My issue is you got 9 minutes to go. Both teams are not contributing towards the finals. They're not shaping finals.
No, not at
We
all.
could have just left it there.
No. So Narelle had her 50th on Friday. My beautiful wife, was 50, so we went out for tea. So I didn't watch it and didn't seem to miss much. I actually have not even watched highlights. Haven't even watched. I watched
Mini?
Pickett get rubbed out, which I want to have something to talk to you about that. But outside of that, no interest in the game whatsoever. Then you go to Hawthorn, just taking the piss out of North. Then you go to the Geelong. To get that close, for the Eagles to get that close is an embarrassment to Geelong, considering they were 100 points up at halftime. Tigers and the Swans, so be it. Brisbane and Essendon, so be it. Sydney, Adelaide, so be it. And then Sunday was where it really, really kicked in. And you go from probably watching 6 of the worst games of football for the entire year to 3 of probably the best games of football for various reasons for the year as well.
Yeah.
On Sunday. That Brisbane Doggies game.
GWS Doggies.
What did I say?
Brisbane.
Yep, same thing. Dogs versus Giants. Cracker. It was down at that was a look, if anyone wants to have a pick on Ballarat, go for it. But that stadium was rocking. You'd rather have 10,000 ferals down there than 20 at Marvel, because it was just humming down there, because they would have made a killer profit and the atmosphere was electric.
In spite of the rain as well in the fourth quarter.
Yes, that's what football was. We played football outside for 135 years and then we built a dome and look what happens. Like, get over it. That's the way it is. Then the end to that Carlton St Kilda game. Raise your hand on the chat. Raise your hand on the stream if you, my friend, were jumping up and down when Higo kicked that goal.
It was the best.
I had 2 hands up. Oh, I could just hear pastizzis and just ravioli bouncing off the plasmas onto the plastic-covered cushions in households all around Carlton as that goal went through. And then to top it off, you have your mob get the win against a club that had to win to make finals.
Yep.
And they did it, Jamie. So what does that mean? This is what it means. We have the end of season ladder, and thus we've got our finals for the first round in a fortnight. Sydney, outright leader. Port Adelaide pinch a home final. Jdog, I don't know if you'd be raised 10 City right now in the front of those shorts.
Come from the clouds.
Come from the coast. Geelong, they just never stop. They are the Energizer Bunnies. They never go flat. They just keep on going. And GWS got the 4th spot that they desired. So we've got a battle of the bridge, which is going to be a cracker. And then you've got Port Geelong. Looking forward to that. Then you've got Brisbane, who let it slip late in the year to snatch a top 4. They're going to have to play a home game against Carlton. And if you remember, Carlton beat them by a point at the start of the season this year. And remember how that prelim went last year where Carlton were 5 goals up and absolutely choked it. And then to really ruin the first week of the finals, you have probably the 2 informed teams playing each other on a Friday night at the MCG. I would have loved that game to be played in the middle of the afternoon at the MCG on a beautiful dry deck. That's when it should have been played. That's when football should be played. And I would have rather that have been the game on the Saturday afternoon, because a dry day under the sun at the G, that would have been a belter. But Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn, tell you what, either of those 2 teams could win that one. It is awesome.
I'm probably more interested in the back of the ladder, Peps, to be honest with you.
Okay, and then we'll go down to Collingwood and Fremantle. Both of those teams screwed the pooch. Essendon haven't screwed anything. St Kilda get the win and pinch 12th spot from Gold Coast by percentage. Melbourne are 14th. Adelaide, West Coast, not the Malabone, and Richmond rounded out the 2024 ladder. I would say the most disappointing team in the bottom half would be probably Collingwood and probably Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide had so much to offer. They've gone backwards. They haven't progressed. And Collingwood won a flag last year. Flag pies didn't make finals this year. Melbourne didn't do it. So, I still think that they stole a flag, but everybody stirs them wrong.
I'm just going to quickly see if I got in my notes here back at we made our original predictions way back when.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I got it in my notebook somewhere. But I'm reasonably sure that you and I had either Collingwood and Brisbane top. Top.
Yep. I think I had. I think I went Brisbane. I think it was Collingwood. Actually, I think I might have said Collingwood because Schultz come in. But the best part about the weekend was, Jdog?
Sure.
Bags. We love it when they kick 'em. Bags. It's gotta be 6 or more.
Gotta love bags, baby.
We love it when they kick 'em. Woo!
Jeremy Cameron had 7 till halftime, 9 to finish out the game, and Jesse Hogan earned the 2024 Coleman medal. What a comeback from the ashes. That's the shit that I love about football. Redemption stories. But you got to love a good bag. And the week before we should have done bags, but we didn't do a show, unfortunately. But great way for Cameron to be. He was been a bit soft the last couple of weeks in his performances, but a really nice way to finish it off. Couple of things coming through on the chat also. And I'm really excited by a couple of the points here. Lee Mack, the worst thing that ever happened to the D's was the failed merger. It's not a bad one. So what will Melbourne ask from Carlton for track? We're going to get into that one very shortly because I know Jamie wants to get stuck into me. Jamara, is he still going good? I never said Jamara was not good. What I was saying, though, was that I think there were other players who had performed just as well at the same point in their career who didn't get the notoriety, and he has definitely blossomed this year.
No, you said Jamara's no good. I'm with him.
And then Mossy also said, I have no idea who will win the premiership. It's so close this year. It is close. It is massively close. Not sure if I'm more happy about the Dogs making the finals or the Bombers missing again. Well, I'll put it this way, Glenn. You're a Doggy supporter. You should be happy. The rest of us is Essendon.
I get it, though, because Essendon missing again from halfway through the season was actually pretty fun. All right, so I actually have my top 8 here. Do you remember what it was? I had Collingwood, Lions, Carlton, Geelong, Sydney, Giants, and then Crows and Port.
So you didn't pick Melbourne, did you?
Didn't pick Melbourne.
Pick Melbourne.
And so I actually did all right out of this. I got Giants, Sydney, Geelong, Carlton, Lions. Didn't have Collingwood. They didn't make it. But I had Port in there. So I actually did pretty well.
I don't have mine in front of me.
Well, you should just keep your notes. It's not my fault you're not good at admin.
I get the producer to look after mine.
Peps, you did say Ulehagen was not good. You said he's overrated and it's time for him to step up. And he, from that moment, I think you said that round 18 this year, and he has made you look like an absolute fool. He has led, he has leapt, he has converted.
The kick in the pants that he needed.
Oh, you're saying you're responsible.
I am responsible.
Okay,
I am.
I also agree with Lee Mack. I actually was thinking about the Melbourne Hawthorn merger when they're going through like the premierships of the 80s and where Melbourne were and yada yada yada. Yeah, you guys toughed up. You guys would have had so much more premierships.
We would have had a three-peat.
You would have had a three-peat.
21. And
all right, so no, what's come through here? Had the best month of his career. The comment exactly right. Thank you very much. Bo, thank goodness the season's done. Cricket season now.
Yep. And the Magnificent Tory's joining us as well, too. The superstar herself. Congratulations, Jamie Wallace. Grew his first pube on the weekend.
All right. So, Peps.
Yep.
Let's talk about the biggest news story coming out of the AFL house.
Okay.
Or not out of our house, out of a club in Melbourne tonight. Is one of your boys,
Yep,
the man over your left shoulder, as I'm seeing it, has formally had his interview with Melbourne, as it's understood. And I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but basically has told the joint that he wants out and he wants to play for a big club in 2025. And Melbourne is no longer the home that he sees himself fitting in with anymore. So he would prefer to stay at a Victorian club. And there are some very big clubs with very big memberships who are looking for a midfielder of his talent, skill, age profile, like any AFL list should be at his way, Peps. Thoughts on it all? Because this has been rumbling on for 10 weeks now. The injury.
Yep.
Injury at the Queen's birthday weekend.
Yep.
Then the off the radar, no communication with the club. Holiday to Noosa. That wasn't communicated why I did that for. It's come out that the club, some teammates were very annoyed about that. He's going off and having a holiday in Noosa with his girlfriend, with his partner, and not being around the club when he could have been probably showing his face a bit more. There were rumblings, there were rumorings that he was not happy with Melbourne overall, the structure, everything, all of that, the communication between the club and himself. And it's come out that he is looking for a new home in 2025 after signing a substantial contract 2 years ago now. The floor is yours, Peps, as a supporter and a lover. You are a massive track fan in the same way that I'm an Ollie Wines fan.
Yep. Rightio. So, geez, you sort of put me on the spot here, and I don't want to make it all about this, but it is the biggest news story. Like, I just looked at Footy Confidential. They've had their bits and pieces into it. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here because I'm looking at the guy behind me who's a Norm Smith medalist who, up until 10 weeks ago, loved the place and had issues with the place, though. And I can understand that, all right? They've gone out straight sets in the finals. They're not making it this year. You don't have to be living under a rock if you're a Melbourne supporter or any supporter that there has been rumblings about the place for a long time. There's been rumblings off the place with Glenn Bartlett and all those issues before he came into it. All the Oliver saga, all the smoke around Goodwin, and even just game styles and that sort. Like, you sit there at games and you think, what are we doing? Like, there's no game plan. Like, you could almost have, like corporate bingo when people say things in meetings and you have corporate bingo and you do shots. You could do shots at a Melbourne game. Stephen May kicks to the left-hand side of the screen. Shot. Melbourne will punch it out of bounds. Shot. Melbourne will get a stoppage. Shot. Melbourne will go down the line. Shot. Like, it's all that sort of stuff that just bores the shit out of us. And when we see the caliber of the people that we have on our team, and they've still got a top 6 to 8 list, right? Let's be honest. They have. They're upper echelon. And the kids coming through are good. But when you see someone like a Hawthorn who lost their first 5 games this year and have made finals, that hurts. I look at a team like your mob. I reckon we're outside of the forward line. I think our back line's better, and I think our midfield is probably a step under you. That's when it's firing. You're finished second. We've finished 14th. And the fact that they stick their heads in the fucking sand and admit that everything is okay shits everybody. We're sick of it, and heads have to roll. Now, if you're outside of Gawn, would be the best player I've seen, it's Gawn and Oliver, I'd say, in the last 25 years pull on a jumper for the Ds. because he's disgruntled, I can understand that. I can imagine what that's like. We've all been disgruntled playing football, things happen, but you got to work your way through it. My feeling, though, is after what I'm hearing, and once again, it's all hearsay, thearsay, there's a little bit too much of me now, and not we coming from Petrarca's side of things.
Ooh. Okay.
He got injured. So be it. Right? The number of players who cop what he copped, the exact same thing, ribs, whatever, and have gone back out on the ground. It's happened before. There was no way to know that he had a ruptured spleen. No way whatsoever at that particular moment in time. It was only until they got him to the hospital that they realized that something was even worse. And I'm not saying that that's a big issue, but it's happened at other clubs. So this is just not unique to Melbourne. But for whatever reason, he thinks he's been hard done by. And it just gives me the shits when I hear, and this is the thing, it's all rumors, but when he says he wants to build his brand and he wants to play at a bigger club, that goes from we to me. You don't want people like that at your club. You don't want people who make it about themselves at the club, because when the pressure hits, good players will not do the team thing. Now I'm getting messages here. I'll give you 2 first rounders for him at North. North, mate, he wants to go to a big club. He doesn't want to go to anything smaller. He wants to play in front of crowds, not empty seats. They don't count as, so he's not going to go to North, right? There is nothing outside of Charlie Curnow that Carlton have that anybody could offer. And this is where the club is sitting there going, mate, you signed up 2 years ago for 7 years. And now you want to leave because it's got a little bit tough, because you want to play in front of big crowds. You had no issues 2 years ago. You had no issues, but because things have got a little bit harder, you want to now move on. That's the true caliber of somebody. And you can use every other excuse under the sun, but the character of an individual is that you cannot. You can be the best footballer and have the worst character, and people won't want to know you. Because eventually that character comes to the surface when your skills start to go away.
Well, to be fair, I think Petrarca's probably not looking at the opportunity for what it is. Like, he gets to play in front of at least 20 to 30,000 seagulls every Saturday and Sunday. That's a pretty nice thing for him.
And does it for over $1 million a year.
No,
right.
Peps, I think this does feel like the year that the players feel like they have almost too much control in the AFL landscape. I mean, look at Richmond. They're looking at potentially losing 4 or 5 players from this current list.
Yep.
Looking for other homes, looking for opportunities. You've got Melbourne. You got what Petrarca has said tonight. Looking for another club. It feels like, and Dan Houston from Port Adelaide looking to come back to Victoria after signing a contract last year on a 5-year contract.
You can't put Dan Houston and Petrarca in the same.
No, but I'm talking about players signing contracts.
Yeah, that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace, and clubs need to go, you know what? Screw you. There you go. And I'll be like, so be it. You've signed up. You don't want to play. You don't play. Don't play.
It does handcuff clubs, though, because if they don't want to play, they don't play. They sit there. They lose value. The players lose value.
Yeah, the players lose value.
But it hurts the club ultimately in the long run.
What does that say about the player, though? He's cracked the sads and I don't want to play anymore. That's bullshit, mate. That's bullshit. Now, there's stuff coming through, and I'm loving if they want to go, let them. No, Donna, I'm sorry. No, I don't hand over people for a packet of chips and a Sunny Boy. If you want him, you're going to pay up. And don't think things like, give him 2 first rounders. I'm sorry. You want Vudamond? You give me Vudamond back. I want top shelf. I don't want. And then some of the things that people want to offer up, like, seriously. Oh, we could give you Jack Martin and Owies and Corey Durden, and no disrespect to them, but come on. If you want him, you pay up for him. It's as simple as that. You're going to have to. If Judd was worth 2 and he was coming back, you're going to be up for. And Cameron was worth 3, mate. I want 3 plus a player minimum, because this guy committed to our club for 7 years, and now we're going to make it hard as possible for any club. We're not going to say you can have him for nothing. You want him, and if nobody can afford him, stiff shit, he stays where he is. And he's the one who has to come back with his tail between his legs.
I know you're angry.
More respect for my club if they did that than let him go for subs.
I know you're angry about Petrarca.
And you speak to any Melbourne person right now, they would be pissed.
The problem is I see this as a potential opportunity, Peps, maybe if Clayton Oliver gets himself in order in the off-season.
Yep.
That he gets a bigger role, and he and Viney become the two chiefs. And I look, and I want to tell you this as a Port Adelaide person, we no longer play Rosie, Horn Francis, and Butters in the centre square anymore. It just doesn't work.
No.
So maybe a Viney Oliver-led midfield looks better for you now than say out of Petrarca.
We've lost way too many. We've lost way too many second and third tier players. That those two, Viney's 31 next year.
Yeah.
All right. So he's not getting any younger. You need to have that next level coming through, and some of the players haven't developed. You're losing Neil Bullen as well, remember. So he's going, and he's a valuable asset. So I'm thinking, I'm sick and tired of my club's been one of them, and there's been other clubs just being bent over. You need to make a stand. And you need to make a stand against these players. You can't commit to something and then decide, I'm leaving because it's got too hard. No. If you want to go, we're not letting you. You can sit on the sidelines and explain it to your teammates why you're not playing.
Yeah, but you can't have a Cam McCarthy situation for yourselves.
No, but Cam McCarthy was in his last season.
Yeah, but he sat on the sidelines.
Yeah. Yep.
Never returned to the same player that he was when he was at GWS.
So be it. And once again, I reckon, regardless what anybody said, anybody who's got players that are on long contracts and a club does that to a player to say, you don't want to play, that's fine. You're under our contract. You're going to sit there. It's up to you. You're welcome. But if you don't want to play, we're not letting you go because you've cracked the SADs. You can sit there.
All right.
I would love it if someone did that.
Hypothetical with you then, Peps.
Yep.
Petrarca's going. You could have any position filled from Petrarca for what it is. Where do you see the greater need? Someone in the forward line or someone back in the midfield?
How many do I pick players or do I just pick positions?
No, just go one for one.
Well, you can't go one for one because he's not one for one. This is the thing. If he's going, you're going to be getting at least 3 first rounders for him.
So you're going to get a high profile forward.
All right. So you need a high profile forward. My issue with that is that there's only probably 4 or 5 you'd go after, and you're not going to get any of them. Jesse Hogan was already at Melbourne. He's not coming back.
No.
Would you go with Mackay? Maybe, but he's only 26.
Cosy Pickett, that rumour just never leaves, just never stops Melbourne.
Crap. He's not going anywhere. They just make that up every single year for news stories. So, Tom Lynch has been thrown up.
You can't take another injured forward.
We're not
taking
afford it. No, we had Ben Brown. He broke down after a season. Got a flag, but that's it. That's a great point. I'd take Darcy, Sam Darcy.
Tough get. Okay.
Well, if you said to the doggies, you get Petrarca, we take Darcy. I'd be.
Well, I think as Petrarca limited now, you guys are literally Collingwood and Richmond. Is that
Collingwood? No, Carlton. That's it. Collingwood don't have any picks, so they've got nothing. And really, who outside of the Dacos boys, who would you take from Collingwood?
Could you get
no one?
Could you get a my check out of it?
Jamie, shut up. That's just no.
You need a leading forward.
He's not a leading forward.
My check is much more leading forward than say what you've been hobbling down there with McDonald's and stuff like that for the last 3 years. You need someone to be the big forward from Bailey Fitch and Cosy.
Look at this. Everyone now. Oh no way, not for Sam Darcy. No. We can't get rid of him. So this is what I mean. Everybody wants the world, but they're not willing to give up their own planet for him either.
He made
Dog-
Papley. He made Papley you guys. He may just be happy he gets nothing, and then he stays there and gets a happy next year.
He's under contract 5 years. Make him
Yeah.
sit out for 5 years. How's your brand going to go then if no one actually knows who you are? I know it's like a hard thing, but I'm sick and tired of these players signing up and then deciding to walk away. And that's not just for me, it's every club. We don't need mids. I'm telling you now, if he walked up and said, I want to play for you, you'd make space for him. You'd make space for him. And he wouldn't even play mid. He'd play half forward.
The problem with someone like Petrarca is, and I'm sorry, that you are going to get bent over for him. I'm absolutely sorry about that. You are going to. Because no club can pay what you're wanting.
Then he stays.
Yeah, but he won't stay.
He's got no choice.
There'll be something done. There'll be a 3-way. There'll be a 4-way deal. There'll be a 5-way deal.
I don't care. I want what I want for him.
Okay, then so great. You get a player. You get 2 first-round picks. Do you actually trust your club to develop two first-round picks?
Definitely.
You trust Simon Goodwin led coaching team to
No,
develop?
I don't want him there either.
Oh, you are fully angry.
I don't want Goodwin there anymore. I don't want Burt there anymore. I don't want Richardson there anymore. I want them all gone.
You want Choco gone?
No, he can stay. No, but they're the ones who have got their heads in the sand, Jamie.
Mm.
The game plan has not changed in 3 years. And every other team, like I said, the Doggies have got better. Hawthorn have got better. Your mob have even somehow got better. Sydney don't down. Geelong just never go down. Brisbane, they've got better. They've still got issues in front of goals, but do you know what I mean? Like teams are getting better. They're playing this fast, exciting brand of football, and we're dour. And then, Max Cornwall and him gone. Gay, come on, no chance. Maxi's not going anywhere.
Peps,
No.
Do you see yourself in bigger crisis than where Richmond are at the moment?
No.
Okay, because that's
funny enough though. Richmond are in a better spot than us at the moment. And what I mean by that is that they've lost their players, so they're going to get a bucket load off their salary cap.
Yeah.
They're going to have a shit ton of draft picks coming through because of all the players that they're going to trade out. They could potentially have 6 picks going into this draft, Joe.
Easily.
And it's a deep draft.
Yep.
So I would love for them to grow from. They're not going to win it. So don't. They try to top up with Topper, Taranto and Hopper. It didn't work. Go back to the draft and do what they did 10 years ago and bring these kids in and start again before Tasmania comes in. Because once Tassie comes in and they get the cream de la cream, every club's going to be in trouble. And anybody who doesn't set themselves up well before then is going to go straight what happened in GWS and the Gold Coast. My team went through it. Your team got screwed. The Bulldogs got screwed. Other teams got screwed during that period. We know what happened.
Because it is incredible. Richmond are looking at the fact of losing Shai Bolton, Freo next year,
First rounders.
Daniel Rioli, Liam Baker, Jack Graham.
You've got 3 first rounders, Jamie, plus your own.
It is an incredible amount of players that are jumping off Richmond after 1 year under Uze. Sorry.
Anything to do with it.
Yeah.
They're all out of a lot of these are out of contract, but once again, Bolton is doing the shit on the club. Sign a good contract, last year before, wants to go. Family reasons.
Yeah.
He only became family reasons when they started going crap.
Just it's weird. It's such a strange. This year feels, and I know every year we say this, but this year feels like the players are having far too much say in movements and are locking clubs into decisions that they don't want to make, and it's going to hurt clubs.
Free agency has fucked this league.
Hasn't.
No, it has, Jamie. It has.
These aren't free agent moves, though.
Jamie, they do. There are free agent moves, and they only go to the good clubs.
Some do. But these contracts we're talking about aren't free agent moves.
To go down to the bottom clubs are the players who can't get a game at their original club and are getting paid a shitload. Look at all the ones that went to North. None of the good ones went to any of the other clubs. So free agency only works for the top echelon. It does not work for the bottom ones.
But these players aren't free agents. These are players just leaving contracts, wanting to get out.
And I agree wholeheartedly here with Bo Hawkins. Like, seriously, I can't wait for the Boxing Day test either. I agree with him wholeheartedly. But no, it's a farce. It's got way too out of hand. And the worst thing is that the Players Association, you know, it's kind of funny. The AFL are in control of so much, yet the only thing that they cannot control because they stuffed it up is the actual currency in the game, which are the players. They've given the players too much leeway. And it all started with Chris Judd when he toured all the clubs and decided, I'm going to pick the one I want to go to.
Yeah.
That's what started it. And
yeah.
Can I bring something else up?
Yeah.
I really want to bring this up as well. The All-Australian 44 that's been released this evening.
Oh, this is insulting. Okay.
So the first thing is, why is there a group of 44? That's just crap.
You could just take over this segment of the whole show because I hate the All-Australian squad. You know this, how I feel about it. Everyone knows how I feel about the All-Australian squad.
I think it's a complete farce. Absolute farce. But Brisbane
How have Rio got 5 nominations? How is it Brisbane got 5 nominations in this?
Quite easy.
Come on.
But Adelaide haven't got any. Richmond haven't got any.
Thought maybe. Oh, no, actually, no, I can't say that. I was going to say Ben Keys, but he has flashy games, not good games all the time.
No, but interesting. But yeah, so that came out today. Look, it's going to be a tough challenge to put some of these people in, but like Darcy Cameron, mate, you're just making up numbers. Nick Dacos, has he been a better wingman than D'Ambrosio this year? One's played finals, one isn't, so he's probably not going to make it. Zeri versus Gorn. Will they go with 2 rucks or will they go with 1? I don't know. So it's going to be an interesting All-Australian this Thursday. Jake Waterman got in, but he had a slow end to the season. Exactly right, too. So, great question here from Merv. Who will be captain? Sorry, Gay. Melbourne signed him up. Yeah, exactly. Ben Brown chose my club. Exactly. Ben Brown chose my club, Melbourne. Top end club. Gave him 3 years, played one, won a flag, hasn't done anything since. Who will be made captain? Has Bont been captain?
He's definitely been vice.
Yep. So I'd go Bont captain because as of halfway through last night, Carlton weren't even making finals. And I don't think you can have a captain of an All-Australian team who didn't make finals. But outside of that, he's probably the one I'd go for. It'd have to be I'd like the Bont to get it if he hasn't been captain already.
Tristan Zeri, Jesus Christ, this team is woeful.
Yeah.
I mean, do not have one person from Richmond or Adelaide in that list of nominated, and yet they have Tristan Zeri in there. Like, come on.
Zeri's had a good season. He's had a great season. Probably the second best ruckman.
Better than someone in Adelaide's squad?
Yeah.
They finished third last.
Doesn't matter. He had a great year. He's a ruckman. There's only 18 of them, and he was the second best in the league behind MG. 7 time Max G. Hey, Jdog.
Yes.
The season itself, the AFL are Chubbs farquaring over this wild card play-in, whatever name they want to give it.
Yes.
We don't need it, do we? After what happened this season when it got down to the last game for someone to make finals, there is no way. It's just a cash grab. It is just a cash grab by another greedy AFL. They cash grab. No, they cash grab. Let me go through the cash grabs that they've rolled in the last few seasons. Would you like me to? Glad that you brought it up. 0 round. Cash grab.
Yes.
Gather round. Cash grab.
Best thing for a while, though.
Now we got round 24.
Bullshit.
Cash grab. And now you want to have, they want to have 26 games played before you even get into finals, which goes for. So they want to play football 30 weeks of the year. Do you know what I say to that?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Ching, bling, bling, button chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling,
the other girl, what's her name? I don't know. I forgot her name. They're just sitting back. Dollar bills. Just, it's a joke. It's a cash grab, and it's ruining how good the season would be. Nobody wants this at all.
Make it the 10 then. Just make it the 10.
No, you can't make it 10 because you can't play finals then. Doesn't work. Just leave it at the 8. Leave it at the 8. Why do we have
no, I get top 2 go straight through without playing a game. I don't know.
8. You just have 8, Jamie. You get rid of that rest week and you have the bye before the grand final, because if anybody gets a concussion, that's the way they get around it. They have the week off and they can play a fortnight later.
It would have made the Friday night game still a live game though.
What, last Friday?
Yeah. If we had the bonus game because of Collingwood, that game would have meant something.
Dude, you've got 24 rounds, 22 that you play to do something.
Yeah, I know, but last week, I think it was Friday or Thursday,
you know what?
I heard a segment.
You know what, Jamie? I just ran 42 Ks of a marathon, but you know what? I didn't get first, but I was coming home strong. So you know what? How about we just add another couple of kilometers on the end so I can maybe win?
Yeah,
it's a participation medal. That's all it is. And they'll sell it off to the state that wants to host it as well.
That's what Melbourne Cup is. Melbourne Cup's for the horses. They're just too slow for the Caulfield, so they run the Melbourne. I'm joking.
Dick. Sometimes just you're a dick. Take your back old man's home. But I don't know. Listeners, what do you reckon? Like, subscribe, ring the bell.
I am, after hearing a segment on Friday or Thursday on SEN about what the coaches were saying about the top 6 and then the top 8 move and like the Blights and those sort of guys, I was like, we're saying the same stuff that they said 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And we love it. We love the top 8.
On the phone.
That's what I reckon. It's just that.
It'll happen. We've got to just get our heads around it.
If it does,
Emotional, damn it.
that's it. I've got the soundboard back.
Oh, that's it. You reckon you're done with it? You're one of those people who go on Facebook and say you're done with AFL, are you?
Yeah. No,
I have an issue. Honestly, I have an issue with
Jamie, I'm just sick and tired of our great game being changed in areas that don't need to be changed. And there's things that need to be fixed, and they just let those things go past. And then they'll change a rule one week, and then they'll change it the week after, then it'll go back to normal. And it does my head in. Like at the moment, I don't know if you've seen the number of people kicking the ball off the ground, 40 meters up the ground, and it rolls out insufficient intent. There was a guy in the Brisbane Essendon game on the weekend. Did you see this one?
I saw. Yeah.
The ball was it was 30 meters out in his own forward line, and he kicked it off the ground, and it rolled out, and he went insufficient intent in his own forward line. Like, this is where we sit here and go, are you fucking idiots or what? What are you trying to do to our game? In the back, the number of in the backs I'm seeing at the moment that just do not get paid, Jamie. It's like they've just taken it out of the rule book.
I know, Peps, but this is
I'm it's just another thing that's been messed with for nothing. It's, you know what? We've got that much crap under our rug that we've swept under. The only way to fix it, let's just buy a bigger rug. That's what the AFL
I'm
do.
here for it.
Bigger rugs
I'm here for it.
from Fuck Dogs.
Um,
One of those rug stores that always has a 50% off sale. Always.
so Peps,
Yep.
what do we do now for the week? We got a week off now.
Mhm.
And last week we couldn't do a show because of whatever, we had family shit going on. But what do we like? This just feels like we've had such a great Sunday, and we don't build to anything. And I complained about it last year. You complained about it last year.
Yeah, it's a stupid thing. And the reason why they brought it in was because Freo didn't want to bring players over from, I think it was Perth to play, well, obviously from Perth, to play North at the end of the year. And they rested like 8 players, and it ruins the integrity of the game. Well, I don't know about you, AFL, but the first 6 games of this weekend, that ruined the integrity of the AFL. They were putrid. So
Bo has suggested go and support your local footy finals.
Local footy, the quality of local football out there, regardless if it's first division down to thirds, fourth divisions, regardless, football finals footy is where it is. And go and support your local team, because local footy is, these players wouldn't be playing if they weren't playing local to start with.
For some teams, I mean, local footy is more political than even politics.
Oh, raise your hand if you've been president of a football club for 1 year.
You talk to local footy clubs, and it is more corrupt than a bloody coffee shop in Italy.
Yep, I agree. The umpiring is a lot better as well too. They call it like this.
Yeah,
in the back. Like they just pay it better. It's just so much better run.
So we got a week off.
Yep.
And we're left with questions, Peps. We're left because we've got teams that are on hot form at the moment.
And should still be playing.
Who's that? Sorry.
Another reason why you should be playing.
I agree. Do you think that'll impact? Will it have an impact like other years we have seen this with preliminary finalists winning and not playing, or playing one game in 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
I think there's definitely going to be something to it. I think there'll be an upset somewhere. Out of the 4 games, there will be an upset.
Have you changed your AFL Premiership team by predictor?
Who have I got? Well, if I went with the finals this week, if the finals were being played this week, right, I would say Sydney wins. I would say potentially Port loses. Potentially. Yep. I'm just.
We got some injuries.
You got some injuries. But Geelong have played basically the bottom 5 or 6 teams in the last 4 rounds this year. So they had soft kills, but that's probably okay for them. I would also go Brisbane to beat Carlton. Carlton have got injuries, but I don't think they're playing. Well, actually, that could be the boil over. That could be the one that catches where Carlton do beat Brisbane. If Brisbane get off the hot starts, but their goal kicking accuracy is really bad at the moment. If they don't get that right, they're going to kick themselves out of another final.
Well, they have already.
Well, they have already. They did this year as well too. Like they should be in top 4, but their bad kicking is bad football, and we know what happens with bad football. You lose. And then you got the Doggies and Hawks, and I think that'll be the belter. I'll be going to that game next week. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a cracking Friday night. Sorry, Dale, you're going to have to order the fish and chips for the kids. But I'll be off to see the G, and I might go the Doggies just for the finals experience. Just with that finals experience, I think it'd
be nice.
And now that Liam Jones had been suspended, which I don't have an issue with. I don't think his was quite light on. The guy had one arm. The guy could have dropped the footy, but he didn't. So he has an issue with it. Mate, I tell you what, Jdog, there's lots of things coming through. Port GWS Grand Final from Craigie Jones.
From Craig, you said one earlier about if there was a wild card round this year, it would be Hawks v Freo and Carlton versus Collingwood.
Yeah,
that would be a cracker.
Yeah, but So be it, Jamie.
That'd be so good.
But it's just a cash grab, mate. And then, so the other 6 teams are sitting there. They have a week off. So this is how it goes. They'd have a week off. Then the top 4 play. They have another week off. And then they play a prelim and then straight into a grand final. Like it's.
I don't know. I want to see. I want to see how it goes next year because it's coming in. But that would be
we don't need it. Look, we're all going to watch it and we'll all say it's great, but we don't need it. It's just
all right.
You see.
So you're saying from Craig Jones, make round 24 a complete floating fixture, name and home teams only, and then the fixture, and then fixture the games to avoid too many shit games last round.
You can't do that because then you're going to be getting into sports betting.
Flight. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that could be rigged. Yeah, they won't do it. They won't make a floating fixture. We're just not that smart enough to do it, to be honest.
Bo still on the Lions Dogs GF.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to actually see whether that could be done though.
Port GWS GF from Craig.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating. Hey, can I ask one last thing?
Sure.
From my perspective, and look, I know we've had a lot of Melbourne talk over the weekend, but one incident to come out of that Friday night game was Cozzy Pickett on Moore, Darcy Moore.
10 weeks.
Can you just be serious for a minute? Like, we've been doing this for 7 years, and I just want you to be serious for one moment, please. And I'd love to hear what everybody else says. And if you want to be a smart ass about it, go for it. If you want to actually show some intellect, go for it. I want to hear what people thought of the incident and whether that was worth 3 weeks. And I'm genuine on this because I've got my thoughts and everybody knows what my thoughts are, but I've got evidence to back it up. So I'd like to hear from you, Jamie. What do you think?
I think 3 and 4 is probably 3 and 4 is right, only because precedents have been set with this before, and Cozzy can consider himself a bit of a serial offender of sniping blokes a little bit.
He sniped him. So he sniped him. So you're saying he sniped him?
I'm saying that he has a history of doing these sort of things.
Hold on. You said that he sniped him. Is that what you're saying? He sniped.
I'm saying he intentionally chose to elect to bump. Yep.
Okay.
Dropping regardless, the bump is on you. The outcome is on you.
Okay. So no, he's a true sniper. A guy who has a clean record gets 5 games. I love it. I just love all of this comment. How he's a sniper. So be it. Okay. What annoys me about the Friday night one is if Moore stood up, and which he's the one who actually caused it, because Pickett didn't jump and he didn't hit him from in front, unlike Houston. Okay, so I'm just saying that I'm putting both of them side by side.
Yeah,
Moore caused that because there's a 32 centimeter difference between Pickett and Moore. The only way Pickett hit his head was because Moore went to ground. So, and this is one thing that I've noticed a fair bit too. And this is not just Melbourne. And I've got my backup because it's one of my players. It doesn't make a difference because he's not playing. But what I'm seeing a lot of now is the person getting the concussion or getting the head knock, they're going in with their heads. And they're causing a lot of these incidents with the hits to the head. Yet the player who, whether it was deliberate or not deliberate, I'm probably leaning obviously to the not deliberate. So they're the ones, because of the outcome, are being suspended for it.
Peps, it says here a couple of times in the chat.
Yep.
The bump is dead, and it's not dead because of the legality, because technically, to the letter of the law, Houston bumped Rankin, not in the head, but his head whipped, his head snapped, hit Houston on the shoulder, and then he hit the ground, concussed.
5 weeks. The other reason that got 5 weeks was because of the look of it.
Correct.
Yep.
So, regardless of whether it's a 23 centimeter, the bloody wind was blowing in from the southwest, and it was and Jupiter was moving past the chi energy of Mars. It does not matter. If you elect to bump, you are responsible for whatever comes out of that.
You know what? I agree wholeheartedly. And this is where it annoys me as well too, because the AFL that was a hip and shoulder. So what's the difference between a hip and shoulder and a bump? And once again, I'm pulling this one apart. If he stood up, because there was no reason for him to slide into that. If he just stood up like they two were going, and mind you, there was only a split second. That's just a normal incident, a normal hip and shoulder that happens 500 times in a game.
Correct. Players both move on, whatever. Nothing said of it.
And I think this is where everything's starting to sprout from. Is like, hold on, that same incident happens X amount of times. So is it the action that you're trying to ban? Because if you're trying to ban what he did, that happens 300-400 times a game in every single contest. Two people go side by side.
Pep, season two, we had this podcast. You said this. It is outcome based.
Yeah, it is.
That's what this tribunal is these days. It is outcome based. It's not on what it is. It is outcome based.
Yep.
Because I agree. You and I can hip and shoulder each other 4,000 times. Nothing comes out of it. I get concussed once because I hit my head on the ground a certain way, and you get banned for 4 weeks.
And that's not right. It's not right. And I think, and this is where I think and this is why, and it's a thing with the AFL that the way that they've set up their matrix, etc. It has to fit into the boxes, etc. There are incidents where he's caught, he's clipped him, but how is he supposed to know that when he started his action to bump the guys is going to go sliding down? There's just things that they're supposed to go, well, you know what? He's actually caused it. Because if he kept his feet, it would have just been two blokes going for the ball. He's the one who's actually caused it, not the other one, because he hasn't really done anything malicious, has he? He's just giving him a hip and shoulder.
He ran past with his. He ran past with hip and shoulder intent at head level.
He couldn't tackle him, could he? Because he didn't have the ball. So what's he supposed to do? Let him pick it up. So this is the thing.
I think that's what you have to do. I think you're going to have to pause.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm rubbing my face to say, if we can't even figure out what a player's supposed to do now when the ball is in his vicinity and what he's allowed to do, because the AFL's ruling around bumping is so great. Oh, you can do it, but just don't hurt anyone. We'll just say it's out. Just ban the bump.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it. I agree with you.
It reminds me of this. It reminds me of the US. So in the US, guns are legal. But Kinder Surprises aren't, because they have a safety issue. Kids could choke on the toy. Do you get my drift on that one? Well, the one that's really, really bad, that's okay. But the other one, we're going to ban that one. It's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. The great thing about tonight is, as of next week, we're only going to be talking about 4 games of footy that we are going to be so jacked and pumped for. I can't wait.
We're gonna have to work this out, but you're gonna have to get a co-host for a few weeks there.
Why is that?
I won't be in the country, my friend.
When do you leave?
30th of September.
13th.
13th.
That's all right. You didn't really do much during the final series anyway.
My team makes it and run on the show.
That's your issue, mate, not mine.
I mean, you didn't see your team play a premiership.
Huh?
You didn't see your team play a premiership. We could have been speaking about it.
Yeah,
In fact, why didn't you go? That guy flew over there. He broke the laws and had to face some.
Yeah,
fines.
and then he was holding the inner pocket of a guy named Bubba for like 6 months.
He go to jail? Did he?
Yeah, he went to jail.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah, he was called Tracy for the next 6 months, but that's a different story altogether. No, look, mate, there's so much things going on. I reckon this is one of the best nights on the chat so far. I've copped it. That's great. The people on here, they've loved it. It's been an awesome, awesome evening. So we are going to be having our final show. So we've only got 6 shows left for the year. 5 shows left. 5 shows after this week. So I don't know what you guys are going to listen to or watch. But I need you all, if you haven't done it so far, I need you to like and subscribe on the YouTube page because we need to get the 500. We need to get 1,000 subscribers, and jump onto our TikTok page and like that because we want to start going live on TikTok. And the only way that we can do that is if we hit 500 subscribers. So we need you to help us out because everybody needs their football lace out because it's how you want your footy. Simple as that. So Jdog, enjoy the weekend off. I'd also like to throw this one out. If anyone listening knows a player who would like to come on and maybe for 20 minutes have a chat to us about who they think is going to go into the finals, who they think is going to win, etc. Love to have them on as a guest. So if you can help us out, that would be great. I'll give you Jamie's BSB and account number as well, so we can sling him a couple of bucks, literally $2. But yeah, if you can, just shoot us a message. It'd be awesome. But besides that, Jdog, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you, everyone. And thank you for your patience in waiting for the show this week. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, no, thank you. We've had a few things on the last couple of weeks. A couple of you know about it. If you don't, it's not that exciting, but yeah, just really appreciate it. So apologies for the last couple, but we will be back hard and forced. And last thing, the absolute prick that threw the bottle at the goal umpire, I hope you never grace a football field or any type of sporting. He should be banned from Marvel Stadium, not football, barred from Marvel Stadium.
Who's a Melbourne supporter?
We don't throw plastic bottles, mate. We only drink out of glass ones in the MCC. So for that guy, you're a fuckwit. And I hope you never turn up to the footy again. But everybody else, we love you.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Round 24 review for the massive week of football that it was. Next week, it's all final season. So from me, thank you. And the J-Man who loves his footy.
I do. Laced out.
Let's lace out. Have a good week. And everyone who joined us online, thank you very much. You make the show.
See you, listeners. Love you.
Love you. I love you, Jamie.